When do I need to see a spine specialist after an accident? Hi, I'm Kevin McManus. I'm an injury attorney handling cases in the states of Missouri and Kansas, here to answer that question for you. Well, if you're asking this question, something terrible has happened to you and you've sustained an injury and you're trying to figure out, how to best treat that injury to your spine. And if that's your situation, I'm really sorry that you're going through it. Clinically, a lot of folks will go to the emergency room after an accident and they will have a CT scan or an X-ray taken of their spine. Now, if there's a fracture noted in those scans, then clearly you have a very serious injury and you need to see a specialist immediately. But I'm fairly confident that the emergency room and the doctors there in that situation will direct you to that specialist. The more difficult issue arises is when you don't have a fracture. You're sent home from the emergency room with probably muscle relaxers and painkillers. And you're told to follow up if the pain doesn't subside after a certain period of time. Now, that's a very dangerous place for you to be medically if your pain truly doesn't subside. And the reason I say it's dangerous is because it's dangerous both for your health and for potentially a legal case against the at-fault party. If you do nothing and you just go home and you spend weeks on the couch and you just take pain medication and muscle relaxers and you try, all you're doing at that point is just masking the pain and you're masking a problem. But you're also doing a lot of damage to a legal case. Because if you then present your case for settlement based on what is a long-term use of medication, the insurance companies are going to essentially assume that you're okay. There's been no diagnostic evidence of any serious injury, and you're really just taking this medication, and maybe, in their mind, you don't even really need it anymore because there's no doctors really treating you. So that's the worst case scenario. Here's what you need to do to combat that. Don't sleep on the pain, right? If you go home and you spend a night or two in pain, you need to get up the next day and you need to go start talking to somebody about it. I talk to my clients about this regularly if that's the situation they're in, and we make sure that they find a provider in their network or through their primary care doctor who will help them diagnose, treat, and ultimately, hopefully resolve a spine condition that isn't resolving after just the pain pills. Here's some things to watch out for. If you're feeling numbness or tingling down your arms or your lower extremities, that signals that something much more serious is going on. And in those situations, it's very likely that you need to have an MRI or some more in-depth scan to fully diagnose this. Bottom line is, if you're in any of these situations, you need to see a specialist. Orthopedic specialist who specializes in the spine, a neurosurgeon, somebody who is a specialist in spine injuries. Again, if you have questions about this, call us. We're happy to talk to you about it. We offer a free consultation for your case. Our number's below. But the bottom line is I want to make sure that you get the treatment and help you need, regardless of whether you hire our firm. Thanks.